The phone rang twice before he answered. Silence first. Then his voice. Calm, curious. Hello. I leaned against my kitchen counter, staring at the city lights, bleeding through the rain on the window. 8 months of my life had been sold today for a polite handshake and a cardboard box. I said only one sentence. Hi, Daniel. I think we should talk about the contract your company is about to sign tomorrow. A pause. Longer this time, the kind of pause people make when their mind suddenly runs faster than their mouth. You are? He asked carefully. I smiled at the rain. Someone who spent 8 months building that deal. Another silence. Heavy now. The kind that sits in your chest like a stone. I was told the account manager left the company, Daniel said slowly. I did, I replied. Today. More silence. I could almost hear the calculations happening inside his skull. Deals like this didn't fall out of the sky. $2 million didn't appear by accident. It took relationships, trust, and a person standing in the middle holding it all together. That person had been me. Why are you calling? He finally asked. I watched a drop of water crawl down the glass. Because 2 hours earlier, my boss had destroyed my career with a sentence that sounded like it came from a corporate handbook. We're reorganizing the territory. Your position is being eliminated. 2 weeks before my commission payout. $200,000. Gone. I told Daniel the truth. Because the man you're about to sign with, I said quietly, stole my deal. 8 months. That's how long it took to build the relationship. 8 months of flights, dinners, late night calls, negotiations stretched over whiskey and spreadsheets. Daniel trusted me, not the company, me. My boss, Mark, never once showed up to a meeting. Not until last week. Suddenly he was everywhere. Emails, conference calls, just supporting the process. He said with a warm smile that never reached his eyes. I should have known then. But I didn't. I believed the lie that hard work still mattered. 2 weeks before the contract signing, Mark asked me to send him the finalized proposal. Legal needs to review it, he said. Standard procedure. I sent everything. Client history, pricing structure, negotiation notes, my entire playbook. Then today happened. His office smelled like burnt coffee and cheap carpet cleaner. He didn't even look uncomfortable. Corporate decision, he said, folding his hands neatly on the desk. Territory restructuring. My position eliminated. Effective immediately. No warning. No discussion. No explanation. Just a rehearsed sympathy voice and an HR representative watching the floor. But there was one thing he didn't know. One small detail he hadn't accounted for. Daniel didn't trust companies, he trusted people. And the person he trusted had just been removed from the equation. I didn't argue. That was the part that confused Mark the most. No shouting, no threats, no desperate bargaining. I thanked him, stood up, and walked out. People expect emotion when they betray you. Anger, tears, begging. Calm terrifies them. Because calm means thinking. I spent the afternoon reviewing every conversation I'd had with Daniel over the last 8 months. The late-night strategy calls. The personal stories, the quiet moments when business turned into something closer to loyalty. Mark thought he had stolen a deal. What he had actually stolen was a signature. But the relationship behind that signature still belonged to me. So that night I made the call. Daniel listened. Really listened. I didn't accuse. I simply explained the situation, fact by fact. Tomorrow, I said quietly, Mark will walk into your office, pretending this was his account all along. Daniel didn't interrupt. But I could hear something shift in his breathing. Why tell me this? He asked. A fair question. Because I built that deal around trust, I said, and I thought you deserved to know what kind of man you're signing with. Silence again. The rain kept sliding down the window. Finally Daniel spoke. Tomorrow's meeting is at 10 a.m. Yes. If what you're saying is true. Another pause. Then you should probably be there. Mark looked surprised when I walked into the conference room the next morning. Not angry. Not yet. Just confused. Like seeing a ghost that hadn't realized it was supposed to stay dead. "What are you doing here?" he said quietly. Daniel was sitting at the head of the table, watching, studying. The contract lay untouched in front of him. I took a seat across from Mark, calm, relaxed. "Daniel invited me," I said. Mark's jaw tightened. Daniel slid a printed email across the table. My email. The proposal. Time-stamped 8 months of negotiations. Every note. Every adjustment. Every strategic decision. All written by me. Daniel folded his hands. "I had our legal team review the document history," he said calmly. Mark said nothing. The room felt colder suddenly. "Every version of this contract," Daniel continued, "originated from his account." He nodded toward me. "Not yours." Mark's face went pale. "Look," he began quickly, "there's been some internal." Daniel raised a hand. The sentence died in Mark's throat. "I don't do business with people who steal from their own team." Quiet, heavy, final. Then Daniel looked at me. "Who actually deserves this contract?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. He already knew. Daniel pushed the contract across the table, not toward Mark, toward me. "The deal isn't with your company," he said. "It's with the person who built it." Mark stared at the document like it was a loaded gun. "You can't be serious," he whispered. Daniel smiled faintly. "Oh, I'm very serious." He stood up. "We'll be signing with his new consulting firm instead." Mark turned toward me slowly, eyes burning now. "You planned this?" I shook my head. "No." I let the silence stretch. "But you did." The realization hit him all at once. By firing me early, he'd freed me to take the deal with me. $2 million. And the commission attached to it. Mark's voice cracked. "You stole my client." I looked at him calmly. "No," I said, "I just kept mine." By noon the contract was signed. My company was no longer involved. Mark's division lost the biggest deal of the year, and the man who thought he could erase me from the equation was suddenly the one explaining himself to corporate. I didn't stay to watch. Some victories don't need witnesses. Outside the rain had stopped. The air felt cleaner somehow. 8 months of work. Almost stolen. Almost erased. But betrayal has a strange side effect. It forces clarity. It shows you exactly who people are. And exactly what you're worth. My phone buzzed once. A message from Daniel. "Looking forward to working together." I slipped the phone back into my pocket and kept walking. Because the truth is, the deal Mark tried to steal wasn't the biggest thing I took from him. What I took was the future he thought he controlled.